Hey people, injured here, 3v3 faction war. This is Khatrin Purification Plant and Imperial Guard versus Eldar. For the blue guard team, it's this fella with all the forward and backward slashes. Let's call him Slash, with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fighting in melee with a refractor shield. Could also shoot his own fellas in the head. Alongside, JohnGrammaticus is a Lord General fighting in ranged combat. Begins with a retinue of stormtroopers, going to add to the retinue with really strong defense and support. And rounded off this team is Acey with an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get some ranged weapons. This is the Death Core of Krieg DLC recolored. Red team, Asurmen is a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero that fights in ranged combat, great for capping and harassing with some powerful control abilities. Looks like the Harlequin's elite scheme recolored there. MammothMKII alongside with a Farseer, a support hero that fights in melee. Some powerful buffs, debuffs and control abilities. The Exarch's elite scheme here. Seems like the Farseer has already used her guide. Gonna fight off the guard in the mid, but the sentinels there being annoying. And rounding off the team, Sir Gunter the Kaiser is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that can leap into combat, some powerful disruption and support. Has to run away though on the east side. Banshee's getting involved. Not sure they're going to be able to take this guy down. They're just going to drop models here. Can they kill some guardsmen though? Do have some backup from the Dire Avengers, although they don't seem... There we go, they're moving up. Killed one, killed two, but they also dropped two models. That probably wasn't worth it, although they did hold up these guys a bit so they couldn't cap stuff. West side, the Warp Spider's gone down already. 499 to 500 very early on with a 1-to-1 cap. They just got a little VP off there, did the red team. Nobody's taken the west side though. I guess they just got their natural kicker with fleet. Blue team, I think, are going to cap over here. Inquisitor's quite low, but the guardsman can push up and create some space for her. Sentinel getting a decap too. Meanwhile, east side, Sentinel bashing a node very, very slowly. Guardsman trying to get a decap there. Each of the guardsman players getting that Sentinel up, and only one Eldar player getting Banshees because of those Sentinels. Can make the Banshee's job a lot more difficult. Triple Dire Avengers into Shurikens then, as expected. Classic build against guards when there's Triple Dire Avengers into Shuriken into Wraith Guard. Maybe a Falcon from the mid player. I think a transport from the mid player in a 3v3 is always super useful. Blue team are capping up the mid here. Might need to get revived before they can do some work without having the Warp Spider to tie up some guardsmen and stuff. Banshees get stomped just as they let out their washout. Farseer. Has she used guide already? Maybe. Has missing some energy there. Banshees have their aspect of strength. They're pushing back. JohnGrammaticus there, who's against two players kind of. Warlock just hanging out menacingly. Probably see the immolator from this guy. Maybe Doom from the Farseer to help get the Sentinels down, the Doombringer. She's on the west side now. Was thinking about a revive. She could get her Spirit Stones and revive that way without taking any time. You have the crossbow bolt pistol on the way for Acey. No Banshees over here, but you can still control an enemy hero with it perhaps. Or hey, just some Dire Avengers. Two Sentinels here, ground pound up on both, yes. In fact, Slash, the only player who is facing Banshees, is the only player not to have the ground pound up. They went for Khatrins quite quickly. In fact, all three Guardsman players getting some Khatrin Devils on the field to help combat these Guardian weapon teams. All three players with one of these as well. Maybe two for Asurmen, unless that's an Overwatch mistake and it's going to be cancelled. Khatrins. Took too long to use a destructive ability. Were they all on cooldown or something? Wow. Nasty destructor from the Warlock. He does have the Immolator Blade. Can just set the ground on fire, which is some good area denial. Also does damage over time on its basic attacks, both melee and ranged. I wonder if they stack with each other. If you hit something with a ranged attack and then smack it in melee, does it stack? Probably doesn't make a massive difference. It's not a huge amount of damage over time. There's Doombringer up for the Farseer. Was put onto the Khatrins. Also guide thrown onto the guarding weapon team. You see the huge range they have now the 30% increase, and then it backs down when the buff wears off. Did well though that JohnGrammaticus has backed off when the Doom went onto the Khattrins. Make them waste that debuff if you can. There is Hammer of the Witches. I often say it's the best starting ability. I think it's in with a shout. Single target stun with a chunk of damage. Crossbow bolt pistol putting some damage in too. Grenade on retreat. Way too soon. And they're going to get away okay, those guardsmen. That was the all-reliable grenade launcher from the Khattrins. That did some work. And here's the Sentinel. No repair support. Look at them pouring in that damage. It is classed as a vehicle, but it doesn't have vehicle armor. These guys have heavy infantry armor. That's why they're taking so much damage here. Another all-reliable grenade launcher. These guys have an improvised explosive up. They're also getting a decap. Are they going to move in for a shotgun blast? They may be wary to do so because of the grenades. There's another all-reliable. Pretty short cooldown on that, eh? Yeah, those guys got wrecked. If those Khattrins moved in a little bit sooner into melee, they might have been able to finish off one of those squads as they were laying down on the ground in retreat mode. There's Doom up on the Sentinel and Guide again on the guarded weapon team. Really strong combo you can do pretty early on with the Farseer. Throw Doom, throw out Guide. Easy to do. I mean, the timings, something you can learn as you gain experience, the timings of that. Warlock's going to die. Tried to get into melee with power melee Khattrins, and they can really be a threat to low-level heroes, as we've seen time and time again. And the Warlock has now learned this. He was level 1 and tried to mix it up with a fiery sword. They were not impressed. Lots of pew-pew on the west side. Hammer of the Witches on the Farseer, but she got the cap. A stun alone will not stop a unit capping. They have to be knocked away from the capping area. I guess it was seen as too strong to stop the caps, as well as stopping other active abilities and, you know, movement and stuff. This guarding weapon team is getting kind of messed up. The Sentinel's very low. Chasing it down. Couldn't quite get it done though. She has no fire on the move when she has this Doombringer. 425, 443. I mean, it's a two-handed weapon. Pretty sure she can still shoot crap out of her hands, can she? Or does she just lose her ranged weapon completely? Yeah, I think she does, because generally she uses a pistol. It's the Warlock that shoots the blue stuff. The Eldar Psycho Lightning, whatever the hell it is. Lord Commissar. Can he kill one? Not quite. Level 2. Banshees are here. He's going to run now. Made them waste their war shout though. And they're bashing some power. Got one gen and got the node. What is this? Farseer just hanging around. Didn't quite get onto that VPA. Grenades on the west side. Khattrins. Ouch. That was the oral level grenade launcher again, but those guys were in retreat. Yeah, they've kind of struggled to deal with these guarding weapon teams on the west side. It's not easy, is it? We do have artillery spotters for Slash and a Manticore up for Acey. There we go. That got rid of them. Powerful artillery piece. You do need to manually target each shot, and it's quite vulnerable if you get close to it. We'll see if it can pay for itself. Artillery is super powerful in 3v3s, but the Manticore just so expensive, you know. Can't always pay for itself. Wraith Guard already up for Asurmen. And there's their Spirit Seer Warlock, so they can move a bit faster and see further. Hammer of Witches on the face of the Warp Spider. Any war gear for you? Nope. Wraith Guard have these awesome Wraith Cannons. Good damage to all targets with the small AoE, and they suppress infantry. They themselves are immune to suppression too. Khatrin's there with their Sarge. You see him firing that melter gun. Banshee's getting in there. There's the war shout. Taking a lot of damage though. Or might have misjudged that, and they have misjudged it. Dropping their Banshees. More Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard for everyone. Uh oh. I thought the guarding weapon team was going to fall there. Sentinel got a decap. West side, meanwhile, Manticore doing some work here, you know. All these Dire Avengers are really low, especially these fellas. 4 hit points. Might have been 3. 376 to 420 on the VPs. Wraith Guard doing some work though. Pushing back the line. And they'll take out the Manticore in like 2 bursts, I bet. 2 volleys of their guns if they all hit. Especially if their rear arm hits. And you can do that with Wraith Guard. Even if they're facing the front of the vehicle, you could manually target the rear of it and hit. Warlock going after a Sentinel, getting some damage over time. Does have the missile launcher, they don't want to lose this guy. That Sentinel's down. Looks like it's going to be okay. The Warlock does not have a melee charge. Does have that leap and then gets a... I think he gets a speed increase just after the leap. Going to finish off with ranged attacks and does so. Well played, Sir Gunter. Had the presence of mind to stop and get those attacks in. Immolate on the retreat path. I don't think it's going to get model. Oh, I got one. What do I know? 376 to 381. Very close on VPs. Did have an answer to his Wraith Guard. Looks like the answer to Wraith Guard for John is go tier 3. Now the Manticore is up though. Showing its rear armor to that side of the map is not a great idea. Sentinel frag missiles will do a lot of damage to big blobs of Dire Avengers like that. But they don't really have a way to stop those Wraith Guard aside from throwing the Inquisitor into melee with them, but she's got to get through a lot of fire to do that. Look at that. The missile launcher is doing some work. And again, here's the Manticore. Big old retreat from Asurmen. Could have used fleet to back away there maybe. A little bit more finesse. Maybe they didn't see it quickly enough and they thought, you know, it's coming right now. I was looking elsewhere. Manticore's moving up, you know. Why? Yeah, stay back there, buddy. Here's an Autarch on the field for Mammoth. Leaping in as she does. Goes after the Sentinel, but gets stomped. That was a strange choice. Thought she'd come jump onto the Guardsmen and disrupt them all. These guys up to 12 models. Yep, they have the Commissar, so they can break their own retreats with executions. The Commissars themselves are also pretty capable combat units. 376 to 357. Wraith Guard are quite low on this side. That was the distortion field up from the Warlock's global bar. That's what that effect is there, giving them some ranged damage reduction. Lets them plant their feet and shoot, shoot, shoot. Facing a whole bunch of plasma guns. This is one way to do it. If you can spread out your guardsmen, get plasma guns for all of them, they can outshoot the Wraith Guard. Very effective power bash by the Eldar here. Well played. Mammoth really pounced on that power and got it done. Doom on the Lord General and a big old retreat there from Mammoth. I think they thought the Manticore strike was going to swerve towards them, kind of. Khatrin's getting quite low. They're fighting the Warlock. Has the Warlock learnt his lesson? Nope. Khatrin's taken down again. Not sure what they were going for. Maybe they were trying to steal the bunker or something. They got knocked over. Plasma gun's pretty good at dealing damage to enemy heroes too. It's a good damage type for that plasma. Guardian weapon team shut down by the mortar smoke. Can they do this then? Distort field again up on the Wraith Guard. Khatrin's getting into melee. Looks like they have a plan for dealing with these Wraith Guard, but that was a really good grenade on the Khatrin's and they wipe. Here comes an Autarch. Not sure if just 2 guards on the squad are enough to deal with the Wraith Guard. Because look what they do when they shoot them. And the bunker's not going to last long too. Some mines dropped in by the Lord Commissar. And the Eldar do not have any detectors around here. So those mines could be a problem. See them blowing up already. And he can set them off with the Manticore like this. Fire Dragons on the field now for Mammoth. Have these fusion guns, kind of like rapid firing melters. Good damage to all targets at close range, and of course the Farseer can support them quite well. Here's the Autarch with the Executioner power melee spear. Where is the Farseer herself? She's over there, she's ready. Got the rune armor for the Psychic Storm. And again, really swift power bash from Mammoth. Fire Dragons are pretty good at that. Lord Commissar's got the Xenos Power Claw. Not sure if he can get into melee though. Took so much damage so quickly. Good job targeting him and getting him out of there. And the Autarch gets the kill. inspirational kill there you saw. 351 to 319. This could be a really satisfying volley from the Wraith Guard. Two Guardsman squads really bunched up. West side is still blue for the Guard. Warlock trying to get a decap here. Needs to be careful. Khatrin's there. Oh wow. Look how much damage the Leman Russ took already. Just got dropped in by JohnGrammaticus. Wraith Guard and Fire Dragons is a lot of anti-vehicle damage. Trying to get the hell away now. Manticore's there too. Fire Dragons are getting all split up by the disruption. Mammoth taking a big risk potentially. Has to get out of there. Good pressure, really good pressure. Got the decap. They have to now repair that Leman Russ. Doom up on these Khatrin. Farseer flees. Does she get away though? Looks like it. She's done really well. Khatrin up here for Acey with grenade launchers that disrupt on every hit. Didn't disrupt him there because he was doing a special attack. And again, every time they shoot him with a grenade launcher, he doesn't get knocked over because of his cheating specials and another special. I think it's so special, don't you, Warlock? Level 3, that guy. You do get more melee skill as you level up. Get more of pretty much everything as you level. And they finish off those guardsmen with some... Nope, they can't. I was going to say with some ranged damage over time attacks. It's not like a Plague Marine's bolt or anything. I think it's like... Doesn't it tell me? It's like 3 damage every 5 seconds. Yeah, 3 piercing damage over 5 seconds. Not a whole lot. But does it? How much does it stack up is the thing. Sure, you hit them once, it's not a whole lot, but it might stack indefinitely. Although, there's only so many attacks you can get in 5 seconds. 351 to 282. Maybe that's the new meta. Just 3 Warlocks with the Immolator firing their fiery blue lightning at people. I somehow think not. But would it stack from different Warlocks? I assume so. There's that crippling volley from the Inquisitor and she runs away. Lots of damage going in on the Sentinel now. It's level 3. Doesn't move it off. In fact, moves it forward and down it goes. That was a bit weird. Oh, wow. That was a good Manticore shot. You know, they've done well in this game, the Manticores. Well, Acey's one has. It's into level 2. JohnGrammaticus, I'm not sure how often that's hit. Here's the Leman Russ. Now repaired. Runs into a grenade, but isn't too bothered. No upgrades for this thing yet. Manticore's moving up. They're all in tier 3. The Leman Russ and the Khatrin and the Fire Prism are the tier 3 units we're seeing right now. Oh, that was crack shot put onto the Wraith Guard. That's a global ability of the Warp Spider Exarch. I believe it gives you more range and damage. I believe. I wonder if that stacks with Guide. Probably does. Lord Commissar's found some Dire Avengers. Wish they gave him some better animations, Relic. Why does he do a two-handed swing when he's got a power claw? Just keeps the same animations as when he has a sword. I wonder if there's another animation that he could use for a special there. They could just remove that two-handed one, which looks kind of goofy. Baneblade on the way for Slash. Avatar of Cain on the way for Sir Gunter the Kaiser. VPs are pretty close. I mean, 100 odd in it isn't a whole lot. Some Seer Council from MammothMKII. Power melee squad, a bunch of Warlocks that jump on you and really hurt you a lot. Also have this range damage resistance aura that they themselves benefit from. They can be relatively tanky, you know, for Eldar. 2,500 hit points with that aura and this kind of mobility too. Once they start leveling up, they can become a massive pain in the ass to deal with quickly. I mean, look at this, soaking up quite a lot of damage here. Unfortunately for them, all of their support units were run off the field. We have an Executioner Leman Russ, that rapid firing plasma cannon. The City Council are still pushing. They haven't even dropped a model yet. Can they finish off those guardsmen? Not quite. Now there's time to drop models. Need to get out of there. Khatrin should have got into melee with them, you know. They might have been able to finish them off there. They're so low. How do you still have 4 models, guys? There's 3. Very, very lucky to have 3 models. Lots of the damage came from the Executioner, which was spread across all the models, I suppose. 301 to 236. Lord Commissar gets in on the Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard are super bad in melee. Pretty surefire way to stop them. Just tie them up in melee. And here comes the Avatar of Cain from Sir Gunter the Kaiser. Soup unit for Eldar. Has a nice support aura around it. And also very powerful in melee combat itself. Meanwhile, the west side. Fire Prism getting some shots in. Looks like it's using the focus shot here. Has a focus shot and a more dispersed shot for disruption. There's a dispersed shot. 281 to 236. Avatar, what's he up to? Oh, is he going after the Baneblade? Here is the Baneblade from Slash. Looks like he's sending it over to the west side. The Sora Purgatus from the Inquisitor level 3. Really kicking off over it. Manticore takes out the Shuriken. That's a good shot. There's 2 Fire Prisms here now from Asurmen. Manticores do a lot of damage to vehicles, and those Fire Prisms are not very tough. Only 500 hit points. Manticores could do some real work. Warp Spider is harassing the Manticore back there. Does he have his Power Blades? No, he's got no war gear whatsoever. No levels too. Here comes that Baneblade, bristling with guns, a Mega Battle Cannon, Demolisher on the front there, Las Cannons, and some heavy bolters too. Eldritch. The nuke from the Eldar doesn't quite finish off the Lord General. Barely gets away. Finish off the squad there, I think. Yeah, JohnGrammaticus had a bad time there. Only has vehicles left. There's 2 Fire Prisms here, so it's going to be really tough to cap this area without pushing against them. That's going to be tough to do. Eldar chasing down the Baneblade. Sorry, the Avatar chasing down the Baneblade. Losing a lot of health, has to back off. A grenade went in over there, maybe? Oh, probably just Fire Prism shots. Might have been a grenade. They still have this Doom. Also, Time Field for the Armor of the Asurmen is now in play. Potentially. Some more Khatrin and Ogrins for Slash. Is it worth going after this VP? I was at the body of the Autop there we saw. Here's the Seer Council from Mammoth again. How much XP they got already? Doom up on those guardsmen. Poor bastards. As if they need Doom to be killed by a Seer Council. Here's a bunker. I assume it's going to be a repair bunker. Because there's a Baneblade over here. Where is the Baneblade? It's gone to the middle to get some repairs. The Seer Council, not a huge threat to vehicles. I mean, they can get on rear armor and smack it down maybe given time. But Leman Russes have tons of hit points. Time Field. Just messing with those Katachuns and the Kashrikin. Here come the Fire Dragons, and those are rear armor hits. Look at that damage. Holy crap. They've died up on the Fire Dragons. That was pretty nasty. Did they have Doom down as well? I don't know if they have enough energy to use all 3 abilities at the same time. There's Crippling Volley on the Wraith Guard. And they have to run. There's a grenade going in there. What's going on mid? Well, Commissar's waving his claw around. Chasing off some Dire Avengers. 174 to 236. Double cap for the Eldar. Can they keep the pressure on? Wraith Guard have been so good for them. Where's the other squads of them? There's one there as well. Not sure where those guys are retreating off. There's Cracked Shot from the Warp Spider Exarch again. Really cool effect for that. 152 to 236. Manticore Strike. Trying to set up a push. Need a bit more than that though. Inquisitor is trying to do something. And again, there's the Purgatus. Can she get a cheeky decap off this? I guess not. Maybe she'll get her mandate, in fact. There it is, as soon as I said that. 131 to 236, and Bright Lancers now. So the more threats for the Imperial Guard vehicles. What is this? Warlock is down. Was that a nuke? Oh, that was a creeping barrage, I think, when those guys went into base. Some Ogrins now for Slash. With their bonehead leader ready to smash some Wraith Guard up. Heavy melee weapons on these guys can combat all units pretty effectively. Soak up some damage too. And disrupt with User Red. Went a bit too far away from our own stuff. There's a rocket run. Pretty good one. Ogrins are getting wrecked by Seer Council though. Seer Council are a pretty strong counter to Ogrins. all that power melee damage and the disruption. Avatar stabs the Bane Blade. And Bright Lance getting shots in. It is not letting the Imperial Guard settle at all. Haven't been able to settle on the west side. Struggling to push through the mid. There's an Eldritch, and that's a destroyed Bane Blade most likely. Yep, down it goes. Fire dragons are there. 83 to 236. I think the Eldar have stamped out any resistance right there. Not letting the Imperial Guard settle at all. Triple fire prisms on the west side now. Imperial Guard really up against it to try and get this cap. How are they going to do it? They can all disrupt the Khatrin's off it. There's the smoke shell. Smoke grenade rather. It doesn't stop you getting shot though. And I see D-cannon shots in there from Sir Gunter. There it is. Set themselves up really well on this west side, the Eldar. 65 to 236. We're kind of always half a step behind the Guard in terms of pace, you know. Then you got those Leman Russes rolling quickly enough. Did the Manticores slow them down? Were they worth it? That one's gone. This one's still around. It's done well. I don't think it's done badly. But they do slow down that tier 3 roll. 48 to 236. Oh, that was the Emperor's Wrath from the Lord Commissar. Really powerful accessory. It's really expensive, isn't it? Like 250 or something. It's a lot. It's basically as expensive as War Gear gets for heroes. Avatar did a whole lot of soaking of damage and smacking things there. I'm sure he's happy. Gonna get a double cap. Probably a triple. Yep, in fact, the Guard have just conceded. Fair enough. The game was won, I believe. Level 3 Lord Commissar here. A level 5 Lord the General did have Sniper Rifle at the end and Flak Jacket for incoming. There it is. Immune to... Oh, that's immune to knockback. That's right. Why did they not get the immune to suppression when they were facing Shurikens and Wraith Guard? Inquisitor is down. Did have Purgatus, Mandate, and the crossbow bolt pistol though. Warp Spider Exarch had the Shimmer Orb at the end. Level 7 Farseer was the Warp Spider. Got level 2, hey, leveled up. And a level 7 Warlock with Providence, Warp Throw, and the Immolator. Well done to the Eldar. Played it really well, I think. Thank you for watching, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part. And of course, Impregnable for organising the Faction War events. I'll see you next time.